Okay, update on the quad. I know I had a lot of people following what was going on with that, so I didn't want to keep driving it until I was positive that things were going good, and so I went ahead and cleaned that carb just to make sure that the carb was the problem. I didn't think it would solve the problem, but it definitely made it so it was more drivable. But I knew that this was just old and needed to be replaced. So honestly, carburetors for this thing are $35 from China. So I went ahead and ordered a new carburetor and just finished slapping that puppy in there. So now it's got the new boot, new carburetor. I rejetted it. It should be ready to rip, tater chip. So yeah, let's see if this thing starts and runs. I'm not gonna give it any choke, nothing. We live in Florida, I shouldn't have to give it choke. Let's put the key on. Oop, headlights are on, let's turn those off. And I've had the gas on there for a minute, just letting it sit. So now I'm gonna turn it back on, and let's see how this thing runs with a new carburetor. Should run, I mean, perfect. That's what it should do. Yeah, but that's how these projects go. They don't always work that way. So here we go. No airbox connected, just free flow air at the moment. This is an upgraded carburetor. It does not require the slide head, so the dual throttle setup is not required. There's one arm inside that runs both of them now, so this is just going to be a piece that hangs out. So this is the upgraded carburetor for this thing. So let's see what happens. We're going to hit the start button. Well, that was easier than I thought. Idling pretty high. Let's see if that idle comes down. Oh, it's coming down into a beautiful idle. Look at that. Cold exhaust. I'm not used to feeling cold exhaust. I'm used to feeling hot exhaust. There we go, just idled down. So now it's warmed up. I would say it's running phenomenal, honestly. I'm gonna definitely give it an oil change because I can see it needs one, but I would say it's running perfect. There's no smoke coming out of this thing. It's a 4-stroke. We're gonna give it some nice fresh gas. No exhaust leaks. Seems to take the throttle just fine, idle down. It's not stalling, popping, banging, or cracking. I'd say we completely 100% fixed that problem. She's ready for some trail riding. I am gonna fix this one brake though. We're gonna see if this master cylinder, see I can see somebody's been in there because there's a screw missing. So I'm gonna go ahead and assume that this thing probably doesn't work and I'll have to get a new master cylinder. Now I can downshift this to slow myself down, obviously, if I need to. I can just downshift real quick, use the engine braking power to slow down. And it's not like this quad goes very fast. I think top speed on this quad's like 45. It seems to be working perfect right now. Everything is running how it should. It sounds phenomenal. So I would say that $35 carburetor. So my entire investment right now is $400 plus a $35 carburetor. So we didn't even break $500 to build to get a nice running quad that needs a cleaning. But other than that, everything seems to be working. I know the neutral lights don't work, so I'm gonna have a look at all this stuff next. This does work because I reset this a while ago. I pulled that and then I reset this, so this does work. It does clock mileage for trail riding. So we'll reset this again. Oh, it's idling perfect. This thing is just working great. That is a very clean idle. Yeah, I just filled it up with gas. I just went down to the gas station. Got a full gallon. It takes 3 gallons. That's actually quite a bit of fuel, honestly. It's quite a bit of fuel for a quad this size. So it's got fuel, and despite needing an oil change, we're gonna take it. I'm gonna do something that I know MD TSI 95 Chris will respect a lot. This is something I normally wouldn't do, but I really want to test this and take it for a good ride. So alright, downshift. Let's see here, can I go? Oh yeah, we're going for it. We're literally driving my city streets right now. I do. I feel like one of those videos where you see those people doing that, you know? That dude just gave me the dirtiest look in the world. He's like, what a hunyuk. This is something I normally don't do, especially in this area. This is a very scary area to do this in. Downshift. Is this my turn? Yep. This thing's fun. We're just cruising. Downshift. One more of those. Beautiful. We'll take this slow here. Shifting good. No issues. It's a semi-automatic, which means you don't need the clutch. You can just let go of the throttle and then it'll make a decision, like, you know what I mean? If you let go of the throttle, it gives you time to pull in and out of gears really easily. So it's, you can downshift and upshift because it's a semi. There's another gear. Of course, someone has to pull out in front of me. Where are we going here? She takes throttle. Oh, jeez. This thing's jumpy. I like it. Alright, 2.7. Manhandle this little bump. Yeah, what's up, bump? We'll crawl back here a little bit. Crawl over here. Yeah, crawling life. That's right, I got a four-wheeler. Isn't that what these are for? A ditch right there. Can I crawl through that? Oh no, that's a downgrade. Alright, so we did a little crawling. There's that. Kick it up into second here. Get clear of the area. Shifting great, man. Alright, just cleared 3 miles. So far so good. There you go. 3.1 miles. Still cruising just fine. Walk her into the garage here. There you go. One more time, neutral. Yes, sir. Runs and drives like a top. 3.1 miles. Sweetness. Okay, it's the next day. I'm so pissed. I had to ruin the drain plug to get it off of there. That makes me upset. That makes me pissy. It was refusing to come off, and so I had to beat a big indentation in it because it stripped the bolt real quick. Didn't take long to strip that sucker round. right? So I had to beat a big indentation into it with a screwdriver to knock it loose from underneath the carriage, which unfortunately, as you can see, buckled that one side straight up, so it started leaking oil immediately. I didn't have a choice to get this off because apparently this dude doesn't know what the word change your oil means. So, yeah. So there's the screw, the spring. I cleaned the filter off because I may have to reuse it, but I did order a new drain plug. So unfortunately now the ATV is down until the 5th. Because the stupid drain plug was so tight from not ever being changed. If you look inside here, that's the oil that came out of it. It's grayish. It's like interesting looking, like shavings and all sorts of stuff is in there. That's not normal oil. And I forget that this also runs through the gear package, which means all these little shavings and all this weird off-colored debris that's in here is actually metal from the shavings in the gear package. And that circulates through the engine. So, yeah, it's all one big system that connects right here. This thing, all the oil does everything for everything. So with an ATV like this, you really want to keep up with your oil changes, because if you don't, you'll screw your cylinder up. Now, luckily, this one still has good compression, and it doesn't seem to be having any issues as far as that goes. So I'm glad I got to this when I did. I can't believe every used project I get is like people just don't change their oil on anything. Like, dude, you want to know why your engine's all messed up? Because you never change your oil. That's why. So it was $7 for a new drain plug. I ordered it. This is going to be down until at least the 5th now. I ordered it on a Sunday, which means it's not going to activate until a Monday. So I'm just going to let this just sit here and drain. And once this is done and it's not dripping anymore, then I'll go to the other side. This thing takes almost 5 quarts of oil, just like a car or truck, you know. So I got to go get some Yamaha lube, and then we'll slap that in there. Hopefully she'll be good after that. I'm sure she won't complain with some new oil. That's some pretty freaking old oil right there.